In the shadow of a sprawling countryside, a grand old mansion stood, its weathered brick and ivy-clad walls whispering secrets of eras long past and of mysteries yet to be unveiled. At the heart of this ancient abode resided an enormous antique grandfather clock, its brass pendulum swaying slowly in measured rhythm, as though keeping time for a world that defied the ordinary. Each tick and tock resonated through the dusty corridors, echoing softly into rooms filled with faded portraits and relics from bygone days. One crisp autumn dusk, as the amber light of twilight kissed the mansion's time-worn stones, an unforeseen event began to unravel the threads of reality itself. The clock, a silent sentinel for generations of inhabitants, suddenly struck an hour that was both impossible and ominous. 13. The sound was neither a mistake nor a mere malfunction, as it carried an enigmatic force that suggested the fabric of time was fraying at its edges. In that singular moment, a young woman, whose footsteps had quietly carried her homewards after a long day's journey, found herself drawn inexplicably toward the mysterious chime. Her heart pounded as she approached the great clock with apprehension and wonder, sensing that the evening's eerie phenomenon was but a precursor to a series of events that would shatter all familiar conceptions of time, order, and destiny. The mansion, usually a bastion of predictable history, now beckoned with the promise of secrets and dangerous revelations. Thus began an unforgettable journey into the realm of the extraordinary, beyond measure. The young woman, known in whispered legends as Eleanor, wandered through dimly lit corridors lined with antique furnishings and creaking floorboards that held the weight of forgotten memories. Each step carried her deeper into hallways adorned with layers of dust and cobwebs, where the silence was intermittently broken by the rhythmic beating of her own heart. She felt the pull of an unseen force guiding her past elaborate oil paintings and tarnished mirrors that reflected not only her physical form but also echoes of times long dissolved. With each cautious stride, the mansion revealed itself as a living tapestry of ages, where memories intertwined with moments suspended in fragile ambiguity. The peculiar chime of 13 had ignited in her a fervent desire to uncover what lay beneath the veneer of ordinary existence. Shadows seemed to dance along the walls, and the air vibrated with an uncanny energy that blurred the line between the present and an alternate epoch. Time itself appeared to waver in the chambers of this ancient home, its steady cadence disrupted and rearranged into patterns that defied comprehension. As Eleanor moved from one enigmatic room to another, she discovered weathered journals, cryptic symbols etched into wood panels, and peculiar relics that whispered subtle hints of a concealed narrative waiting to be deciphered. Every detail, every object, resonated with an intensity that promised revelations of both beauty and danger, creating an atmosphere where hope commingled with foreboding. The mansion's silent whispers urged her forward into mysteries yet uncharted. Destiny awaited in every corner. With the surreal echo of the 13th chime still resonating in her ears, Eleanor began to perceive shifts not only in her surroundings but in the very texture of time itself. The passage of moments no longer followed the predictable cadence of life. Instead, they became elastic, stretching into long, dreamlike intervals, or snapping abruptly into fragmented bursts. Every tick of the ancient clock invoked a perplexing interplay between past, present, and future, blurring the conventional boundaries of temporal order. As her thoughts raced and intermingled with visions of alternate realities, the mansion's corridors transformed into winding labyrinths where corridors defied spatial logic, and doorways led to hidden pockets of memory. Eleanor's inner world intertwined with the mysterious energy of the mansion, and she felt as if she were suspended between dreams and waking life. Remnants of forgotten conversations and echoes of lost laughter seemed to flare up in the reverberations of each clock chime, urging her to peel back layers of mystery embedded in the old wood and stones. The surreal atmosphere imbued her with both terror and exhilaration, as if the mansion itself were alive, orchestrating a symphony of secrets. In that moment, she recognized that unraveling the enigma of the 13th chime would require an unconventional understanding of truth and time, one that defied ordinary perception and challenged the very principles of rationality. The shifting moments beckoned Eleanor to embrace uncertainty, opening her mind to a realm where every heartbeat was imbued with the promise of hidden wonders and perilous destiny indeed. Venturing further into the mansion's labyrinthine depths, Eleanor encountered a haphazard array of relics and manuscripts that beckoned with silent urgency. The corridors led her to a secluded study, where a sprawling desk cluttered with aged parchment and handwritten notes hinted at secrets buried beneath layers of history. There, amidst the musty aroma of old paper and faded ink, she discovered a series of cryptic journals belonging to previous residents whose lives had been intertwined with the mysterious clock. The pages contained intricate sketches of celestial maps, elaborate diagrams of clockwork mechanisms, and enigmatic annotations that spoke of a time beyond measured moments. Each inscription hinted at an arcane ritual, a passage through which time itself might unlock forbidden wisdom or unspeakable peril. Eleanor examined every word with both trepidation and a sense of inevitability, her intuition whispering that the journals were perhaps keys to understanding the clock's anomalous chime. The ambient light in the study, filtered through stained glass windows, painted the room with hues of amber and violet, deepening the sense of mystery that hung in the air. Amidst these relics, the subtle interplay between memory and myth became evident, as if the mansion had long been a repository for secrets that defied conventional logic. Every handwritten curve, every faded symbol, resonated with the undercurrent of an ancient enigma that reached out across the chasms of time. Eleanor's hands trembled as she turned pages, aware that each word might be a stepping stone into realms where logic and reality intertwined in extraordinary ways. It was in a forgotten corridor near the mansion's east wing that Eleanor discovered a hidden chamber, its entrance obscured by a faded tapestry and concealed behind a row of heavy wooden panels. Within the chamber, the air was thick with the scent of antique oil and ancient dust, mingling to create an atmosphere both somber and charged with anticipation. In the center of the room stood a peculiar contraption that appeared to be an extension of the formidable clock, a delicate mechanism of interlocking gears and polished cogs, arranged in an intricate pattern that defied simple explanation. The device emanated a subtle glow, as if infused with the same mysterious energy that had set the clock into its impossible rhythm. Eleanor's gaze was drawn to a series of meticulously carved symbols that adorned the device, each one resonating with the promise of a secret truth. As she inspected the contraption, her mind flooded with fragmented memories of whispered warnings and half-forgotten dreams. The subtle hum of the mechanism paralleled the thumping of her heart. And in that moment she sensed that the workings of the clock were not merely mechanical but were inextricably linked to the mansion's very soul. Every meticulous detail, from the delicate balance of its components to the enigmatic patterns emerging from its design, spoke of a purpose that transcended the realm of ordinary timekeeping. In that silent chamber, every nuance of sound and light merged into a profound revelation that destiny was intertwined with the enigmatic workings of time, beyond measure. Emerging from the hidden chamber, Eleanor felt the weight of centuries pressing upon her shoulders as the mansion seemed to whisper forgotten tales. The corridors now shifted subtly, their architecture distorting in a way that made familiar surroundings appear surreal and mutable. Light and shadow danced in unpredictable patterns, hinting at layers of reality that coexisted in parallel dimensions. The echoes of the clock's anomalous chime grew stronger, reverberating through the walls and blurring the barrier between memory and moment. In these shifting hallways, Eleanor became increasingly aware of spectral figures, a brief glimpse of a man in period attire, the soft outline of a child playing in the distance, and fleeting images of faces etched with sorrow, all merging into the tapestry of the mansion's long and enigmatic past. Each ephemeral vision left her with an unsettling certainty that the clock's mysterious strike was not an isolated incident but part of a continuous, intricate web of time. The remnants of lives once lived and secrets long concealed appeared to interlace with her present, urging her to reconsider everything she believed about reality. And as every step further into the mansion evoked a sense of both wonder and trepidation, Eleanor recognized that she was not merely an observer, but an integral participant in a grand, unfolding narrative that bridged the finite and the eternal. In that surreal intermingling of history and present, every whispered secret and every shifting shadow compelled her deeper into a realm where the boundaries of time dissolved, unveiling an arcane destiny beyond measure. As the night deepened and the mansion's corridors stretched into an endless maze, the atmosphere grew palpably charged with imminent revelation. The antique clock, stationed in the grand hall with its face illuminated by flickering candlelight, now dominated the space with an almost hypnotic presence. Its hands, moving in inexplicable patterns, defied the conventional rhythm of seconds and minutes, as if orchestrating a dialogue between the known and the mystical. The very room seemed to resonate with an otherworldly pulse, its walls murmuring secrets of time lost in moments yet to come. Shadows lengthened and merged into silhouettes that appeared to guard sacred thresholds, while the air itself quivered with both anticipation and dread. Eleanor, drawn inexorably toward the grand hall, felt an inner stirring that transcended fear, an acceptance of a destiny that was as terrifying as it was liberating. The interplay of light and darkness, the interplay of sound and silence, all converged in a dramatic prelude to an event that promised to unravel the very fabric of reality. In that charged moment, the mansion's myriad echoes of the past and the present wove together, forming a tapestry in which every ticking second was a harbinger of change and every lingering shadow a portent of fate. In the midst of this surreal confluence, a profound shift stirred the very soul of the mansion. Every beat of the clock, every whispered murmur from the walls, underscored the approach of an era in which destiny, time, and mystery would collide in a cataclysm of revelation inevitably. In the final approach of what appeared to be the next fateful hour, the mansion's energy reached a fevered pitch. The antique clock, as if imbued with a life of its own, tolled with an intensity that reverberated through every fiber of the ancient building. The walls seemed to pulse with an electric thrum, echoing a deep, primordial rhythm that spoke of cycles renewed and destinies remade. Eleanor felt the convergence of countless moments, each layered with memories and dreams, pressing in upon her with a force that was both exhilarating and disorienting. Within the grand hall, the interplay between light and shadow had transformed the space into a living canvas of mystic symbols and arcane inscriptions. Every flicker of candlelight revealed enigmatic figures and fleeting images, as if the very air were alive with the whispers of a timeless past. The clock's relentless cadence served as both a metronome and a countdown, marking time not in simple beats but in profound arcs of fate. In that charged atmosphere, reality itself appeared to buckle, creating a bridge between what had been and what was yet to be. Eleanor sensed that the moment of reckoning was imminent, and that the shifting hands of the clock were steering her toward an encounter that would forever alter the fabric of her existence. In that intense and transformative moment, every echo of the chime and every flicker of light merged into a singular, overwhelming realization. The mansion itself seemed to breathe, heralding a future where every heartbeat announced change. As the monstrous clock prepared to toll the next surreal hour, time itself appeared to unravel in a cascade of paradox and wonder. In the dim glow of the fading night, the distinction between past and future melted into a fluid continuum, giving life to dreams and apparitions that defied ordinary logic. Eleanor, standing in the heart of the grand hall, felt as though she were suspended at the nexus of reality and myth. The chimes rang out, echoing through the corridors and resonating in every hidden corner, each note filled with the weight of both triumph and terror. In that moment, the mansion transformed into a living chronicle of its own enigmatic history, a witness to the endless dance between fate and free will. The air shimmered with a palpable energy as if every forgotten secret and every buried sorrow were rising to the surface. Along with the resounding toll of the clock, a revelation unfurled before her eyes. Visions of a time when boundaries dissolved and all possibilities converged. This singular revelation illuminated the truth hidden within the clock's impossible chime, a truth that bridged the timeless past with an uncertain future, and whispered that destiny was not fixed, but ever fluid and unbound. In that profound instant, the boundaries of self shattered as Eleanor witnessed the merging of every past sorrow and future promise. The mansion, eternal keeper of secrets, echoed a silent vow that transformation was inevitable and that every tick held the power to recreate destiny, weaving light with shadow, beyond measure. In the aftermath of the clock's resounding toll, the mansion stood transformed, its ancient corridors now alive with the vibrant pulse of renewed purpose. Eleanor, having journeyed through a tapestry of memories, mysteries, and shifting realities, found herself irrevocably changed. The impossible hour had become a catalyst for awakening, revealing that time was not a rigid structure but a fluid force capable of both healing and redefinition. As dawn approached and the first pale light filtered through cracked windows, the mansion exhaled a gentle sigh, as though content with the secrets it had shared in the new chapter it promised. Every step Eleanor had taken through the shadowed halls, every whispered clue and every spectral vision, wove together to form an intricate narrative of transformation. She realized that the clock's aberrant chime was not a harbinger of despair, but rather a clarion call to embrace the unknown and to trust in the inexorable flow of life. In that quiet and reflective moment, as the remnants of night gave way to day, the old mansion and its extraordinary clock became symbols of resilience and the eternal possibility of renewal. inviting all who listened to their silent, timeless song. Beneath the gentle rays of morning, Eleanor stepped outside, carrying with her the echoes of every mysterious note and a newfound wisdom. In the stillness of dawn, every whisper of the wind and every rustle of leaves sang a promise of fresh beginnings and eternal hope. Her journey was a timeless tribute to the unending cycle of life indeed.